Hello, creative souls. Welcome to Hanamate. So, this weekend it was raining after almost a month, and I took advantage of it and I stayed indoors and I played with polymer clay. I am actually working on a bunch of fairy houses. I'm turning doll houses into fairy houses, and I need all sorts of furniture and other furnishing and items, embellishments for the fairy houses. So I think that this idea of what I'm making from the polymer clay can be used for many purposes, any kind of dioramas, miniatures, and doll houses. And I am hoping that you are able to see what I'm doing with my hands. I'm not very good with expressing exactly what I'm doing and instructions, but I do think that this video can be helpful for anybody who is beginner and playing with polymer clay or real clay. So I did, right now I'm making very simple flower pots, household plants. And as you can see, I am being clever and I am using a garlic press. Garlic press is a fantastic tool. It can be, traditionally I think it's used for hair of little people, little animals, and I am using it for creating plants. The trick is to kind of squish them in separately, and then actually you will see towards the end that I am turning them around. If you have a little basic of, I guess, pottery making, there are many tricks that apply to working with polymer clay. Um, right now I'm thinking that anything that is sticking out too much can be broken, right? So those whatever stems or leaves, I am going to turn them in a little bit so they don't get broken. I also learned that I keep forgetting the word for it. When you attach two surfaces to get scoring, you are supposed to score the surface in between when you're attaching them so it's not smooth and it will last longer. Ta-da! My little flower is done. So you see, it's pretty charming and it's easy to do. I find it super relaxing. I got into Vikings now, so I'm a little obsessed and watching them, and I find it incredibly relaxing to do something with my hands. I also think that many people who have ADHD, they do digest information better. Some people, I am myself, I'm much more able to repeat everything you said if I'm actually doing something with my hands. So even though I probably irritate people by crocheting when I'm chatting with them, I do actually pay more attention than if I was thinking about, I don't know, weather. Anyhow, so this is fun. This is one little project when I'm making the flower pots. I chose to do square shape flower pot, but honestly, that's a detail. You can also decorate a flower pot. You can use different colors. You can have fun with it. The one important thing is that different clays are different quality, and if you are working with polymer clay, I do like to squish it in my hand, turn it into a ball, make it a little bit warmer so it's easier to work with, it's more pliable. But be careful and wash your hands between uses. So if you're using darker color and then lighter, make sure you wash your hands in between, otherwise the lighter clay will be dirty. As you can see, I'm using all sorts of different tools. I had some, ooh, my hair, oops, sorry about that. I had some from a friend who's a dentist, like this one. I also had some from the basic kids clay making tools. I had some Cricut machine tool, but you don't have to make it complicated. You can use what you have. Toothpick works also pretty well, spoon and other kitchen utensils. So those are the cute little flowers. I'm pretty happy how they come out, and they will be great addition. Okay, my second project was to equip the bathroom. So I made this little cute sink. You can also see the bathtubs on the left side. However, now I'm on doing a sink. I chose brown color. I wish I chose white one. I will do next one in white, I guess. But I kind of like the natural look, and the white makes it too loud, even though it does make it look right away like a sink. So again, I needed the clay, then I used a bunch of different tools. I'm trying to create the shape of the base of the sink, and then I make a hole on the top and I put a glass pebble in blue color that makes it look like water. There are many different options. You can also use epoxy or even just the plastic from glue gun because it does look like water. I had fun with this and I made little kind of embellishments, little dots. But the next kind of fiddly step is to make little tiny tap and the drain. Um, Once again, use your imagination and do whatever you feel is right. It doesn't have to be complicated. The one thing that I did is that I squeezed the tap in properly, and then the end, instead of letting it just float in the air, I actually attached it to the pebble because otherwise it may get broken. I will most likely glue it in the dollhouse or fairy house, and I don't think it'll be a movable part, so nobody should break it. But that's it. I also added a few of the green stems just because I had them, to be honest with you. But any little addition um, add adds so much. It kind of brings it to life. It makes it a little bit more real. So I would like you to just use your imagination and play with it. There are really no rules, and the best part is if anything breaks, you can glue it, or you can make new one. So that's it. So the next project is making little mirrors. So I had a sheet of metal and those massive scissors. Honestly, they are huge and heavy, but I'm strong and they work fantastic, so I couldn't resist. So mirror, mirror on the wall. I am going to make few of them, so I pre-cut the sheet and I added embellishments around it to make it look like mirror. I went for brown and I make branches like. I also make little flowers and leaves on it. So I made few different mirrors, some that are long mirrors, some are wide that you would have, I guess, above dresser, and some smaller ones for bathrooms. I do think it's kind of fun to use your imagination once again and do what the heck you want. Any kind of frame will do. And if you don't like the shape or if you are not too thrilled, you can always glue some greenery or little flowers or moss eventually, because that's basically the final touch when I'm going to do the doll houses. So this was my attempt to make kind of cathedral window-like mirror, and just like imagine there's arch from branches. But honestly, I don't really think about this much, even though yes, I do kind of, my mind is being creative and thinking about different options, and I don't know where it will take me and what I'm going to make. But I do think the basic is about the same. I also did look at different images online and I grabbed few books and I just look at different ideas what can be done. The important part here is to squeeze it basically so it attaches to the material on the bottom, right? Um, Another important part, I guess, is that this is metal and I know it will do okay in the toaster oven. If you want to use cardboard, that can of course burn. So for any base, I am using only materials that can go in the toaster oven that can be burned, heat up rather, baked. So as you can see, I'm adding little tiny flowers and leaves, and it adds a lot. So this is my attempt to make blueberries. And once again, I just had those colors in front of me and I didn't know what I'm going to do. And I'm not saying it to show off that I have amazing imagination, but I do think that every one of you is little talented in some ways, and you can probably figure out what you like and how you would like to embellish it. And once again, the best part about the polymer clay is that if you do something and you don't like it, you can take it off. You may get different color of the polymer clay attached to it, so it will never be 100%, but you can always recycle it and do something else. So don't be intimidated and play with this because it's really super cute activity. I do think that working with your hands helps with any kind of age-related dementia or Alzheimer as well. So keep your imagination flowing and have fun with this. So that's one of the mirrors that I made. When I look at it, I kind of realize that it's a little bit too perfect. So I added little lines with this tool. So it kind of looks like cracked bark on the branches on the tree. And ta-da! This is the final product. Not bad, right? So here is more mirrors that I made. I just let it play, and it's the same concept. And I think you can get idea from it what to do. What I love about this project, especially because it's going to be part of the fairy houses, there will be many, many, many other things. And every time I finish the fairy houses, I add lots of moss. Imagine fairies live in a wet, dark environment, and there's lots of moss and lichen growing. So that's the final touches I put on the fairy houses. It means that you can cover any mistakes. And also, because it's going to be quite busy, there will be lots of distractions. So perfection is definitely not a goal here, and you can really have fun with it. I actually had one evening with my daughter when we were making all sorts of um, polymer clay items for the fairy houses, and we had great time. And even though she is younger teenager, she did have very impressive ideas, and her skills are pretty impressive too. That's something beautiful about kids, that many things that they are doing it for the first time, so they are not afraid to mess up. We as adults are usually pretty good at something that we do daily. So any project that you can do to not only like think outside of the box, but do something that you are not usually doing, basically uses different side of you. By the way, even brushing your teeth with non-dominant hand helps a lot. So I'm almost done with this little mirror. I am planning to put it above the sink or vanity in the bathroom. But I want to summarize my polymer clay making experience. So to start with, purchase it in a good quality craft store. I buy my in Michael's or Joann's. I almost always get the coupon. I do like the different colors, especially for this project. Um, I do always find comfortable spot. I use self-heating mat on my desk because it's easy to wash. I put on a great show. I make myself comfortable. I make myself a cup of tea and make sure that I have a good amount of time, at least half an hour, 40 minutes, to work on this. The other thing is that I make all the items, I put them on a tray or a glass, and then I transfer them to my toaster oven. Okay, I'm actually using the tray from the toaster oven to put the items right on it. And then I use the toaster oven inside because the polymer clay is polymer, so it's plastic, and it does stick when it's warm. So I prefer to stay away from doing it inside. I bought one toaster oven a long time ago in the thrift store, and I used it so many times already. It's definitely worth it. When I am taking it out, make sure you don't burn yourself, and make sure that the things don't fall apart and that they are hard already. Um, and then you can do whatever you want with them. And they work well with glue. You can glue them to anything, but if you are using hot glue gun, remember you are melting plastic again, so it will stink, and it can, even the polymer clay itself can melt, so just be careful. Now you can see me adding a little tiny bit more of the final touches, and I hope you can see how much every little detail adds to the final project. By the way, this is the Cricut tool, and it's fantastic. It's like a little tiny gentle shovel. Ta-da! That's it. So here is my toaster oven outside, and when I take things out, this is how they look like. So I'm very pleased. I always love them. By the way, they do get hot, and it's very exciting to see how they turn out. Usually they don't change much in shade except for color. Burnt. I'm joking. So this is all the items that me and my daughter created in just one evening. Mushrooms are definitely the most popular and easy to boil. The bathroom vanities, sinks, bathtubs, little other pieces of furniture, flowers, indoor plants, more mirrors, and food. The food is definitely fantastic and easy to do, and my daughter made most of it, and I'm very pleased because it's a fantastic addition for the fairy gardens. So if you like my ideas, feel free to join me on Instagram or Facebook. Thank you for watching, Hannah Made.